Hello and welcome to this video on how to become a process server. My name is Derek Smith and I'm a private investigator in Maryland, and one of the primary things I do in my business is process serving. In this video, I'm going to tell you about how you can get started as a process server and what the requirements are. So let's get started. First, why would you become a process server? Well, process serving can be rewarding, number one. People look at process servers as bad, but what we really do is give people the opportunity to know that there's going to be a trial or a hearing about them in court and they get the chance to answer. So we're really letting them know, informing them that, look, your husband, your wife, your spouse, a company is taking you to court. We want you to be aware of it so that you can form your defense as well. Startup costs are minimal. I mean, you can start your business for less than $100. It doesn't take very much to start a process server business, and I'm going to tell you more about that as we go through this presentation. Payment in advance is great. First, you get paid every day, and you can get paid before you actually go out and do your process serving. Even if you don't get paid before, you get paid immediately afterwards. You charge people's cards, and then you have your payment for the activity you're going to do for that day. Next, you can start a flexible, low overhead business with a little more than your smartphone. All you need for a process service business is some business cards, a smartphone, and a vehicle that you can get around in. That's it. And then you're in business, and you can run this business from home, and you can take advantage of all the great tax benefits of running a business, including writing off part of your rent or mortgage for your home. And it's a gateway job that can lead to other opportunities. In many states, you can use your process server experience as the experience you need to qualify to become a private investigator. And there are other follow-on businesses you can do as a process server as well, such as e-filing, notary service, and others. So what does a process server do anyway? Well, the primary duty of a process server is to personally and properly deliver legal documents to specific people. Now, process servers typically work either as contractors for a legal service company or as process servers for process service agencies. And you can also start your own private process server business, which I highly recommend. Process servers do have to have technical knowledge of legal protocol as well as good communication skills in order to coordinate with their employer, notaries, and courts. Now, you don't have to know all the legal jargon or all the laws. You just need to know the laws as they pertain to process serving in your state. So who can become a process server? Well, as I stated before, you need to learn the rules of civil procedure requirements that govern process servers in your state, municipality, wherever you may be. At its basic level, though, anybody who meets the following requirements may become a process server. If you're 18 years old, if you're a resident of that state, if you speak, read, and write English, as long as you have no criminal record, and as a matter of fact, in some states, you actually can have a criminal record as long as it wasn't in a certain amount of years, like the last 2 years. All you need is a high school diploma or a GED, and you have to be a disinterested party, which means you cannot be involved in the legal case that you're serving the process for. Now, while it may be easy for you to become a process server, you need to have training and education to be able to do it correctly. Let's talk about what the workflow looks like for a process server. So this is a general overview of what we do as a process server. And you can see it's really easy business. Number one, we receive a call or an email from a customer. And when we get that call, number two, we ask them about the details of the assignment. And then we either accept or reject the assignment. Now, why would you reject the assignment? Well, it may be someone they've been looking for a while and they just cannot find them, or it may be a type of case you don't want to do. Some people won't do domestic cases, marital cases, and things like that. They want to work for law firms, so that's up to you. In the beginning, you may do them all. Also, you want to find out if that person is dangerous, perhaps. If this person has been known to be dangerous, you may not want to take that assignment as well. Number three, you issue a formal quote and request payment for your service. Again, I told you it's nice to get paid up front. So you request the payment for your service before you go out and spend a lot of time chasing this person down. Number four, you confirm receipt of payment. As I stated, you got paid already. Then you receive and you prepare the documents for service. Number five, you drive to the location and you serve the documents. The industry norm is 3 attempts. So you might not get the person on your first attempt. It might take you 3 times to find a person. Many people say 3 attempts and they're done. Number 6 is document each attempt and update customers. You need to keep your customer informed, your client informed of your activities when you're out trying to make service. Some actually require you to also either take a photo or video of you making the attempt. There's something called sewer service where people will get paid and they don't really go out and try to even do the service. They get their payment, they tell the person that they did it, they sign the documentation, and they may have slid it under the door or whatever, which is against the rules. We'll talk about that later. Number 7 is you complete the affidavit of service. So once you finish the service, you need to fill out a form called affidavit of service. You hand that over or file that with the court. We'll talk about that in just a second. And this proves that you did the service. Now, this is a legal document, so you don't want to be falsifying this affidavit of service. It's an affidavit, and you can be penalized for lying, saying that you served someone when you didn't. Number 8 is you return the affidavit and any other required documents as directed by your client. And then finally, you close out your file. Doesn't take much. It's a simple thing to do for you in this particular business. So what are some common process server duties? Well, common process server duties and responsibilities include serving the legal documents to the correct people. You need to make sure that you're either serving the person you're supposed to serve, or you can do a service to someone usually 13 or over in that same household, or if it's a place of employment, in the place of employment, as long as you ensure that the person is supposed to get the documents is going to get them. We also provide proof of service for each assignment, and that's that affidavit that I spoke to you about. We retrieve and file legal paperwork. Sometimes our client wants us to actually file the affidavit of service in the courthouse for them, e-filing. And by the way, that's a different charge. And one of the things we have to do is we have to monitor and locate evasive people. Some people don't want to be served. And in that case, we have to do things like skip tracing and other location type duties in order to find these people. That's an additional cost as well. So what skills must process servers have? So process serving seems easy from what I just described to you, but it can be more complicated than just knocking on somebody's door and handing them a piece of paper. Process servers have to be able to use the resources that we have at our disposal to track down people who are intentionally trying to avoid service. As I already mentioned, that skill is known as skip tracing. So this can involve accessing phone, utility, and city records, monitoring their social media account, even hiding out in front of that person's home or office until the opportunity for service comes up. This is why I said this is good training for you if you want to be a private investigator. You get surveillance skills, you get skip tracing and location skills and things like that. And since serving legal documents involve a lot of additional paperwork, we have to be very highly organized. And there are systems and programs out there that help us stay organized. Other key processor skills include paying attention to detail, having an excellent understanding of process server laws and regulations. You need to know the laws for your state. Not a lot of them, but you need to know them. You need to be a good communicator and have interpersonal psychology, so when you're dealing with people who don't want to be served, you don't want to escalate that issue. You want to know how to deal with those issues. And you want to have the ability to write clear and precise notes, records, and reports, because those things can become relevant in a court case or a court trial if somebody's saying they weren't served correctly, weren't served properly. You need to be able to show your records and show that you did. So where do you start? So entry requirements to become a processor server are minimal, as I already told you. Most employers, agencies, clients want you to have a high school diploma or a GED or something like that. Now, I don't know many clients who actually ask to see your high school diploma or your GED, but you should have that. You need a valid driver's license because you need to be able to drive to wherever you're going to serve your process. Probably cannot be an effective process server on the bus or the train. You need to have an insured, reliable vehicle. And in some states, again, you need to have licensing or at least some type of registration as a process server in your state. Do you want to open your own business? If you prefer to set up your own process server business, which I highly recommend, you need to complete 2 main steps. You have to set up a legal structure, and you really need to get some training and education. Differentiating between these 2 steps is going to help you set up your business correctly, properly train and prepare yourself to become a process server, and grow your business and maintain success for a long time. Also, you may want to hire other process servers eventually to work for you, and you just handle the administrative side or make extra money serving on your own. Let's talk about the legal structure and setup. So this step includes preparing your licensing, certification, business structure, and things like that in order to open up your business. And this will include complying with any state or county requirements for licensing, bonding if you need it. We don't need bonding in Maryland anymore, and certification for process servers. Please note this varies greatly from state to state, so the best approach is to contact your state licensing office and or your county agency. Now, you want to decide on the legal structure of your business. For example, figure out if you would like to operate as a sole proprietor, an LLC, a partnership, or a corporation. You should seek advice on which one would be better for you. But I'll tell you this, as an LLC, you have certain tax advantages that you might not get as a sole proprietor. Again, confer with your accountant. Now, training and education. Your process server training and continuous education is going to be a very important part of your business. How you approach this will ultimately define the success or failure of your process service agency. What you must remember is that any state licensing or certification is simply the legal requirement for you to work as a process server. Additional training and continuous education is going to help you set up your process business so it's successful in the long run. I encourage you to consider what I'm going to tell you about at the end of this presentation. But let me say this. Anybody can become a process server, but it's more than just meeting the state qualifications. It's knowing how to effectively be a process server and how to effectively run a business. More on that later. Let me give you some insights from process servers. There's an organization called the Process Server Center, and they regularly receive feedback from both beginner and experienced process servers. And I'm going to share with you some of the frequently asked questions and the answers received from experienced process servers like myself. First, what should you consider before becoming a process server? Process servers have to manage their own time, which we do. Think about your availability and consider that this job will require you to deal with people during a difficult process. You need a strong character and patience. If you don't have people skills, this job is not right for you. You're going to be coming into contact with people, and most of the time those people are not going to be happy. So you need to know how to deal with that. Next question, what is a common career path for a process server? So becoming a process server is pretty straightforward. Again, there's no requirement for a degree. Instead, process servers usually go through state licensing if required, or complete a training program. Some work independently and grow their business. Others choose to work for a process service agency. Again, they get some type of training to know how to do this correctly. It's not just handing someone a piece of paper. What type of person excels in this job? Independent people who can successfully manage their time. Your time is money, folks, and the quicker you can get a service done, the quicker you can move on to the next one and make more money. You need resilience and strong character, individuals who have good people skills again. What are some of the most important skills a process server must have? And remember, these are answers from people in the field. Organization and communication skills are very important for process servers and what they do. Training for process servers and education to build their field and investigation skills will for sure help a person be successful. Competition is fierce, so anything to help you stand out matters a lot. What do you find to be the most rewarding aspect of being a process server? The most rewarding aspect of being a process server comes from the independence to pursue your dreams and build your own process server business. Being able to organize your own time to help people to become better are all very exciting when you're a process server. So I know the question you want to know is, how much do process servers make? So my answer to that is, it depends. There's some places where if you work for someone else, you might only get $15 per serve. Some places will give you $25 to $50 per serve. It really depends on your area and what you can get. Now, what I recommend is that you price yourself high. There are a lot of sewer servers out there. There are a lot of people that are not very professional, and they're going to charge $25, $50 in that area. You need to be professional, and you show how professional you are by charging more. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but lawyers charge high, doctors charge high, private investigators, if they're good, charge high. You as a process server should charge high as well. If the lawyers see you have low prices, then you're going to look like the fly-by-night, come-and-go process servers that they deal with all the time. If you're handling yourself in a professional manner and charge professionally, they're going to see you that way. This is a friend of mine, Lance Casey, out in California, and look at what he charged for his service. Routine process server, he gets $150 per serve. So if he's getting $150 per serve, how many of those do you have to do per day to make the amount of money you want to make? How many do you have to do per year to make the money you want to make per year? $150 per day, if he does 4 of those, that's $600 a day or more. Also, he has additional services, as you see, and this is right from his website, Rush Services, $100 on top of the process serve rate. So if you're in a hurry, it's going to be $250 to do that service. If he's doing a restraining order, $250. He has a hard to serve. If it's hard to find you, he charges $500 to find that. And you see the rest of his fees. I won't go through all of them, but you see he charges professional fees for the professional service he provides. By the way, Lance doesn't know I'm doing this, but as you see on the side, he has a book on marketing and process server business online. and he teaches everything about search engine optimization and everything else you need to know about how to market your business professionally and be seen as a professional online. So you might want to check that book out if you're interested in process serving. What about running your process server business? So if you want to smoothly operate your business, it depends on how well prepared you are to run it. Consider the following tips to ensure that your process server operation runs smoothly. Register your business with the IRS and find an accountant or bookkeeper to help you navigate the financial side of your business. Keep your books in order. Establish a system to monitor process service assignments, generate invoices, and keep track of court dates. Decide if you would need an office or to run a business from home. You can run this business from home very, very easily, but I do know some folks who rent an office. Design your fee structure. For example, flat rates per service or mileage added or printing fees or whatever. I just showed you my buddy Lance's fees, and you saw the different fees he has for the different services he provides. Acquire equipment: printer, copier, fax, scanner, and supplies. Copy paper, toner, business card. I know you look at the list and say fax machine. Yes, there's still many lawyers who like to use a fax machine, and they'll send you the papers, the documentation by fax. Establish a good relationship with a notary who will notarize your affidavits. Again, I also have notary service as part of my business. Design a marketing plan: word of mouth, law firms and paralegals, other process servers, and belong to some groups as well for process serving. How do process servers get their business? How do we market? So before you begin to market yourself, think about your short-term goals or what you're trying to achieve right now. Also think about, do you want to have enough work for yourself and work alone? Do you want to grow and hire other process servers for you? Here's some tips on getting business. You need to have a website. So create a website for your business. All right. If people are looking for a process server, they're probably going to search Google and hopefully find your website. If you follow what Lance has to say and you do your search engine optimization and other online things you need to do for your site. List your business location on Google Business so people can find you when they Google. You can work for large process serving companies. You can even be an independent contractor but work for a large company, or you can just be an employee. I'll tell you this, you won't make as much money that way. Approach law firms or solo legal practitioners. Go to every law firm in your area. Introduce yourself, give them your card, tell them about your service, and then hopefully you can sign up a few clients that way. Hopefully you can sign up many clients that way. Join legal professional groups like the State Bar Association, or exclusive groups like the Certified Process Service of the Process Service Center. And there are other organizations out there that you can join as well. You need to network, you need to speak to people, you need to get to know people so that they can refer you when they need process servers. And by the way, everybody needs process servers at some point. I won't say everybody, but it's not going anywhere. Lawyers, insurance companies, mortgage companies, all those folks have to serve legal documents and papers, credit card companies. So your service is needed out there. Here are a list of resources for process servers. These are both nationwide and statewide groups who aim to help process servers. You have the National Association of Professional Process Servers. It provides news, blogs, and hosts national events for process servers. You have a company called ServeNow. They have great articles, webinars, and they have a platform to use in order to run your business. I use ServeNow. You want to consider using ServeNow as well. Let me give you a few quick facts about process servers. So to help you review the information, here are the top quick facts about being a process server. The job title, of course, is process server. Office: wherever legal papers need to be delivered is where you're going to work. Okay, the courts, law firms, things like that. You deliver or serve legal papers like summons, subpoenas, or warrants. Usually these are going to be for civil cases. We don't usually serve anything for criminal cases. Education, certification if you need it, state license if you need it, and bonding if you need it for your state. Your skills are investigative skills, communication, psychology to deal with the people you're going to come into contact with, and you have to be organized. Your time, again, is money. Potential employees are courts, attorneys, private investigators like myself, sheriffs, process server companies. All those folks will hire you, and there are more out there as well. As I said, insurance agencies and others will hire you too. And the pay, $25,000 to $70,000 per year or more, depending on what you charge for your services. This could be a nice side business for you, or it could become your full-time business. Think about this. You can serve anytime. If you have a job, you can serve early in the morning before you go to work. You can serve in the evenings and weekends when you're off from work. So this is a business that you can definitely work around what you already do. So Are you ready to be a process server? Now that you understand what we do, are you ready to start? If you are, I would like to invite you to my How to Be a Professional Process Server course that you can take online and have your own business up and running in less than a week for about $100. My course will teach you everything you need to know about, number one, how to do process serving, the ins and outs, understanding what process servers do, the legal requirements, personal service, substitute service, return of service, all terms you'll learn in my course. How to do court filing, a little bit about skip tracing, how to stay safe out there as a process server, how to do difficult serves, and ethics that you need to know for process servers. You also learn how to set up your business. I talk about legal structures, local business requirements, how to get a free phone number for your business, how to build your business website, how to send and receive faxes from your clients, and how to get a custom email address. In my promoting your business section, I talk about what clients really want, how to get to know your competition, how to craft your unique selling proposition. I give you sample marketing letters and talk about how to use those. I tell you about how to market your business with a website, how to promote your business, what type of business cards you need for your business, and what associations and networks you should join. I have a section on working with your clients and how to build your clients and get paid, which is the most important part, of course. I'll talk about the future of process servers, and I give you additional information about the business, and I give you a 10-step getting started checklist that I walk you step by step in how to start your business the day after you finish my course and be in business for yourself as a process server. So don't wait, don't delay. If you think you're interested in this lucrative side or full-time business, you want to go ahead and enroll in my course today. It is one of the best courses for process serving on the planet. You'll learn a great deal from it, and you'll be ready to either work for someone else as a process server or start your own business. Hopefully, I'll see you in the course.